In this lesson, we will look at what we call adding polynomials. And in order to add polynomials, we have to know certain terms. And the terms are as follows. Let us look at monomial. The base word here is mono. Mono means one, which means a monomial has one term. The way to think of it, a monomial doesn't have a plus or minus sign that separates the term. There's no sign in between it. Yes, it can have a negative coefficient in front of it, but it does not separate the term. That is a monomial. A binomial. A bi has two. Now, think of it as an expression that has only one sign. It's either a plus or minus sign that separate the terms. But keep in mind, the first term may have a negative sign, but it's not a sign that is separating the terms. Think of it, if you have one sign separating the two terms, that is a binomial. Now let us look at an example. 3 plus x, 5 minus 3y, 17x minus 25mn. Those are binomial. Notice there's a sign between the two terms. In a trinomial with three terms, of course, and it will have two signs that separates the terms. The two signs that separates the terms, people. Now, be mindful, there might be a negative coefficient, but it will not be separating the terms. Let us look at some example. 3 plus x minus k. 5 minus 4xy plus m. Now look at the last one. Negative 3x squared minus h plus 11. Notice the first negative sign is not separating any terms. Hence, there are two signs that separating the terms. Therefore, a trinomial. Let us look at like terms. Like terms are terms that have the same letter and these letters have the same exponents. Let us look at what we're talking about here. The letters have to be the same, the exponent or degree, of course, have to be the same as well. Now, 4x squared and negative 11x squared are the same. Doesn't matter what number that is in front of them, as long as the letters are the same and the exponents are the same, they are like terms. And look at the second one, mn squared. The number in front of it is 1 because there's no number. And 20mn squared. Notice that they both have the same letters and the exponent 2 is only on the n in both of them, which means the letters have to be exactly the same and the exponents have to be exactly in the same place. That's what makes them like terms. Now, the number in front of the letters that you see are called coefficients. For example, let us see a couple examples so you can know what the coefficients really are. 4wx has a coefficient of 4 because that's the number in front of the letter. That is 4. That is what the coefficient is. Negative 7m cube n. Now notice that the exponent is for the m and not for the n. Now the coefficient in front of it is negative 7, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, negative sign come with the number. It is negative 7. Now, we have to be able to combine like terms. To combine like terms, that means we got to get the terms that are alike, we add them together. So let us look at an example here. To combine this, ladies and gentlemen, this is color coded also for you. And let us look at what we have here. We have 6x squared. We look at the other term that has x squared. And the other thing we find with x squared is 7x squared. And the next term we have is negative 3x. So we look for something that has x in it, x only. So we have negative 3x, and we have another negative 3x in the other polynomial. And now the next one is just number 9. The number 9 has no letter with it. So the only thing I can put it with is another thing with no letter. And at this point, ladies and gentlemen, it's 9 plus 5. Now, be mindful, if you look at in the second expression, we have 9x cubed that has nothing like it. There's no term that has x cubed like 9x cubed. So we leave it in the end by itself. As a result, now, to combine the like terms, what you have to keep in mind, notice that the 6x squared and 7x squared have the same letter. Here's what we do. We keep the letter and add the numbers. We keep the letter exactly like it is. We don't make any change. We keep the letter exactly like it is, and we add the number. And we repeat this process for every other one. We keep the letter exactly like it is and add the numbers. The one that do not have letters with them, we just add the numbers right away. And at this point, we have the following. Now we can go ahead, add the numbers that are inside the parentheses, and keep the letter. And what we have here, 6 plus 7, 13. We keep the x squared as it is. And now we have negative 3 minus 3. That's negative 6. We keep the letter as it is, negative 6x. And we bring 14 down. And of course, we bring down 9x cubed. That doesn't have anything else like it. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, now that we have it, it is nice to write it in standard form. What they call standard form now is descending order, which means the one that has the highest degree goes first, which means in this case 9x cubed go first, then 13x squared, then negative 6x plus 14. Notice that we start with the highest exponent first. Now it is in order. We call that descending order. And ladies and gentlemen, this is your answer for this combining polynomials or combining like terms. Okay, now I would like you to try this just like the one we just did. I would like you to follow the steps step by step and complete it. All right, this is what you should end up with. These are the steps I expect you to have so you can practice until it becomes second nature. If you have any problem at this point, please do ask question. You should end up with 7x cubed plus 3x squared plus 5x plus 6. And now you are to do the following by yourselves. You do it first by yourself, then you can discuss it with your table to see if they have the same answers. You are to complete this and get it back to me. Make sure you see what your mates have at your table and get it back to me for a grade. Thank you.